authorization. He's intimately familiar with the code for NASA and NOAA. And so the only thing I can figure from talking to him is he doesn't think that the cuts made during the spring are going to slow down critical functions, and that puts him at odds with those meteorologists.
Well, wait a minute, maybe we're talking about two different things, because if he is analyzing cuts that occurred in the spring, and we're talking about cuts that occurred today, is it possible that to which you're referring and to which I am referring are two different things, or?
It's possible. I'll grant you that, this is a little confusing for me. It being cuts and clawback money, not bills. So it could be I was more trying to use your timeline than anything else, but his analysis does put him in odds with those meteorologists.
Yeah, I think there were cuts to NOAA that we've actually discussed before, and I think maybe the confusion is that you're referring to that, because this is something that is happening today.
Gary, I think that's what it is. Thank you for correcting the confusion.
Well, if you had brought it up, other people who might be confused wouldn't know either. What about the food banks?
I mean, I don't think cutting food bank money is good policy. Granted, townships and states are supposed to take care of their own folks, but where the township can't keep up, in particular in places like New York City or, say, like Houston or Dallas in Texas, those folks probably need federal funding. So that, I would argue, is not a good policy. But I will admit to being more confused about the NOAA and NASA than I think I actually have firmness on. But no, cutting food banks does not seem like good public policy to me.
I would hope that somebody might, somewhere along the line, give an explanation of why they're doing these things. But at any rate, thank you, Marshall.
Hey everybody, it's nice to see everybody. Did somebody kick John from the stage, by the way? I don't know if somebody did that, but
I doubt it. I don't think anybody gets kicked from the stage.
I got him a back channel that he was curious maybe.
Have him put his hand back up, and we'll invite him back.
I think he got, I don't know. I think he got kicked from the room or something. I don't know. All right, well, that's not neither here nor there. Gary, I plead on the satellite data. I mean, to some degree, I'm woefully ignorant, right? I have to trust experts, and so I'm way out of my depth. But in general, I mean, I think there are certain things the federal government does that it does because states can't do them, right? We're probably better off with a federal tracking system for things that keep track of weather patterns rather than 50 state system. I mean, obviously. So, I mean, this is alarming if the experts that are complaining are right. I mean, that seems that we're endangering people, and I think in general, call me radical, but I think that's not great policy to give people less lead-in time for severe weather patterns and things like that. I mean, that just sounds really bad. But again, I mean, the government has answers for that, and I don't have enough information to litigate it out, but I mean, it sounds like something for concern. With regard to food banks, I mean, I think on some level I can see more of a philosophical argument for that, right? I think, look, the conservative argument tends to be, as Marshall said, right, that local folks should take care of their own, and that the further you get up the food chain, the worse things get. And that, I've heard conservatives say a lot of stuff like this too ought to just be done by churches, right? By religious nonprofits and things like this, by private sector charities and things like that. Now, regarding churches, the average congregation is about 87 members and is not very fiscally, they're not rolling in dough to do all this stuff, right? So, I mean, and then states, right, are often have unequal sort of budgets. In fact, I mean, I was just reading something from Time that was, and this is, not the first article like this I've seen.